Hello, fellow intellectualizers. I've noticed in my groups, I attract what I call intellectualizers, and it's people who tend to use their mind to process information and make decisions rather than their emotions or their body. I know I've been like this my whole life because look, my mind makes things feel safe. I know in school, I always really loved math. Math always had a black and white answer. There's a correct answer and an incorrect answer. It's very clear. You may not know how to get there for a while, but eventually there's a right answer and a wrong answer, the end. Whereas human emotions, human emotions are so complicated and messy and weird and uncomfortable. I've just always been like super grounded, and I just much preferred processing information through my mind because I trusted my mind to make these clean, rational decisions, whereas emotions felt so random and scary. My path was always going to be go to high school, go to college, get a good job, stay there for 40 years, and then retire. A good job would be like an office job that I get paid a lot of money. And like when I was picking my major in college, it was never an emotional, what does the heart want? It is an intellectual, what job is going to make the most money? So even from like a young age, my mind was always the decision maker. It was, okay, let me predict and rationalize what type of job is going to be most likely to bring me the most money over time. It was always my mind making these decisions regardless of my emotions. Fast forward to today, I've been teaching the science of manifestation for years, and making decisions from my mind is something I've been practicing stopping doing for a long, long time. No matter how much I want to predict my safety and rationalize the best possible outcome, the mind is not the tool to do that. The heart is, the emotions are. Trust and surrender in a higher power like the universe. And I never thought I'd be saying that. And that would freak me out. That would freak old me out. But it truly is the pathway to making the best decisions. So if you are an intellectualizer like me, where it just feels safer to take the emotion out of your body and put it in your mind, I'm sorry that today I'm going to make you uncomfortable and take your mind and put it back into your body and make emotional decisions, make heart led leaps. I can say this every single time I have led with my heart, my energy, my intuition, I have had a 100% success rate. Every time I have tried to use my mind to predict a result, maybe it worked for a little bit, but ultimately it has failed. Now, I only know this through experimenting over and over and over and over and over, and now I have the results ready to present to you. So, one of the things that helped me understand why not to intellectualize and make decisions from the mind is because I understand now how the universe works. I understand quantum field theory, the foundation of our universe. I understand the 0 point field, the holographic principle, all of these principles of our universe. I used my mind to help understand the concept, but every concept I learned teaches me that our mind is so tiny. The human genome, like in biology, we only understand what 3% of it does, what 3% of our DNA does. The other 97%, biologists call junk DNA because scientists can't figure out what this DNA does. It basically is just a bunch of repeating letters that doesn't seem like it has any purpose that they can tell, but it's 97% of our DNA and they just call it junk because they don't know what it is. In physics, we know that we don't know what 96% of matter and energy is. They just call it dark matter and dark energy, but we know it's there because otherwise the universe would collapse on itself. Someone just told me yesterday, we were talking about like ocean animals, and they were like, yeah, we don't know like 97% of what's in the ocean. Maybe they made up that statistic and I did not fact check it before this video, but I thought of those other two things and I'm like, see, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. So why are we trying to use our brains when it's so obvious the vastness of our universe? The universe is all the answers. I teach this in my programs, so I'm not going to go into super detail for the purpose of this video, but the quantum field has all information of all time. We are part of the quantum field, and therefore we can access all information of all time when we are the same frequency as the information in this quantum field. and we become the same frequency through like meditation and turning off our mind and connecting through the body. We eventually use our minds to process the information, but I'll get to that part later. All I know is that I don't know anything. The more I know, the more I know that I don't know. So why am I using this mind to make decisions? That makes no sense. If you are using your mind to process this information, you have to come to the conclusion that it's logical to not use your mind. And when you think too much, when you overthink, it causes you disease, right? When you overthink, what's really happening is you're really putting your body into survival mode, and you can't create from survival mode. Because think about like when you are overthinking something, you're thinking of every single possible outcome. It causes you stress in your body, and that stress is fight or flight mode. And in that moment, your brain is always going to choose safety. And your brain chooses safety not by what is objectively the most safe, but by what is most familiar. So, if something is familiar to you, your brain is going to register that as safe. That means you can never ever expand outside of your comfort zone because your brain is always going to choose the option in your comfort zone. You're going through all the pros and cons in your head. It's causing you stress in your body. Your brain is going to prioritize safety, which it gets from memories and familiar patterns, past experiences, and limiting beliefs. And so if you're trying to make a decision, your brain's always going to choose what's familiar and you're never going to be able to expand. So when you want to manifest, when you want to live a life beyond your wildest dreams, you're going to have to make decisions that are expansive, right? If you want to grow, you're going to have to grow out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things that feel uncomfortable because clearly the results don't exist in your comfort zone. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, overthinking isn't preparing you, it's not helping you make smarter decisions. Overthinking is stopping you from making smarter decisions. It's taking away your resonance with the universe, where you feel that safety and love and connection to all consciousness, and it actually launches you into your body's protection mechanism, into your comfort zone, so that you cannot expand. So your mind is not preparing you or helping you make a rational decision. The rational decision is simply keeping you stuck in the same cycle. You are reliving past fears over and over and over and over instead of being open to new opportunities. And look, our brain is really good at protecting us, and it's good. It uses these past stories. Think about like the 1300s or something, when everyone just like farmed and like basically for like hundreds of years every single human lived exactly the same. Generation after generation was the same. Like, you know how common last names are like Baker or Smith or whatever because you were the baker or you were the blacksmith, because family after family just kept doing the same job over and over and over. And in that case, when everything was the same all of the time, the brain is a great tool because it tells us what to do, it has the programming, and then we get to just follow that pathway and everything's automatic and easy. But in modern times, we have unprecedented possibility. We have so much opportunity. The internet is like a crazy opportunity. We have such globalization and exposure to new ideas and ways of living, and we're constantly being challenged and expanded, being shown different lifestyles and different things that are possible. And a lot of them we desire, I just posted on social media recently about yesterday for me, which was a Monday, and I had like the best Monday. I woke up and just got some coffee, and then I sat down and I opened my laptop. I was going to start reading a book that we are running in the experiment. It's for a book club. I opened my membership, the experiment, to see any new messages, and the group was like popping off. Over the weekend, I had highly recommended this book, The Queen's Code by Allison A. Armstrong, by the way, if you've ever read it. We were having this conversation in the experiment because the experiment is like the best membership because it is literally a giant experiment. There's no rules, it's just experimenting. So we were talking about, I guess, masculine and feminine energy. I was raving about this book, and then at the end of my rave, I was like, "Oh my god, I just convinced myself to reread it." Everyone was like, "Okay, I'm getting the book." And then someone was like, "Why don't we start a book club?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" And so now we're hopping in the membership. I started a book club channel that day, and I'm like, "Everyone get this book." And everyone's like, within like 5 minutes, a bunch of people are like, "Got the book, already opened it, we're good to go." And so then 2 days later, like fast forward to yesterday, which was Monday, I opened the Discord and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I already read chapter one. It's amazing. I already read both chapters. It's amazing. Oh my god, here's my insights. Oh my god, this is mind blowing." It's like popping off with all these insights. And I'm like, "I told you guys this book was good." But I'm like so excited. I'm like, "Oh, this is so fun. Like, this is fun." Like, there's no better feeling to me than just being lit up by ideas and then having other people also lit up by the ideas and having like people to talk about it with. Like, that is just so fun. Like, it's the best feeling in the world. And it's not something like money can buy. Like, where do you even find a group like that? And I just feel so honored that like I consider my experiment members like my friends. Like, I consider them like my people. They're teaching me stuff with their insights. Like, it's so actually fun to see their ideas. And the real reason I originally opened up the experiment was because since it's Monday, I'm running my program Unlock the Universe, and a new week of modules just unlocked. And I'm super excited about every week, but this week is extra fun because this is where people's insights are really going to start rolling. So I'm just sitting there on a high and I'm like, wait, I love Monday mornings. I think I love Monday mornings. Like, I hop back into work and I'm so lucky that all I get to do all day is talk to my friends and people who think exactly like me. And that is the best feeling in the whole world. And so I'm like vibing, I'm like typing back, and I was happy to work all day. I had a bunch of things I wanted to get done. And then my mom called and she was like, "Oh, are you free today? Like, do you have plans?" I was gonna stop. I guess I don't have plans. So my mom comes to visit. It was this beautiful day outside. It's literally been like 20 degrees and windy for like a month. And yesterday was like sunny and 50. So it felt like summer. It was this beautiful day. I'm in Annapolis, Maryland. So there's like this waterfront. There's a cute little town with all these shops. I had the best crab cake ever for lunch. And we walked back and it was just like a really fun day. And then at night, I got to hop on and like get a little bit of work done, but like my work is my life. Like, I love working. It's just such a fun life. And I'm like, this isn't a special day. Mondays get to look like this. And I only got here because I stopped using my brain to predict how to do this. I started using my heart. I stopped intellectualizing. This is kind of how I describe the feeling of intellectualizing. Like, if I can feel my brain trying to like push out information, I stop it and push it back down into my body. Like, I know one thing our brains will do are like, okay, I want to manifest $1,000 or whatever. And then the brain goes, how? And the brain, at least for me, steps into action mode and tries to rationalize and piece together and all this stuff. But the thing is, when we try to manifest something like that from the brain, it can only give us information that is familiar. And it's going to fall back on old patterns. Well, I can take on shifts in my job. Well, I can do this. I can do this. The brain is not going to be able to give us the new ideas. If money's never been easy for you, your brain isn't just randomly gonna like think of something that's like this brand new idea. The brain isn't just going to randomly think of something you've never done before because the brain only works on old patterns. The brain, if you're trying to generate out of the brain, it might make a plan, but the plan's not going to work. Because let's bring it back to this idea that the quantum field has all information of all time. Okay, so all information, all time, including the future version of you, because the quantum state has all quantum possibilities. And so the future version of you on your highest abundant timeline, that information is in the quantum field and available for you to access right now. If your brain is trying to generate information, it's going to generate from the past. It's like a computer disconnected from the internet. Like, it can only bring up information that's already on the computer. But when you plug it into the internet, or when you stop thinking and drop into your body and you get into resonance with the quantum field, now your desires are coherently emitting to the quantum field And that means the information is coming back to you. Your information exchanges, and now in your body, you're able to receive information from the quantum field. And that information then goes to your mind. And so it's not that your brain's trying to generate, it's more that it just processes. If there's computer code on the internet and your brain just shows whatever the code is on the screen, you're not forcing the computer to like make new images. You're simply processing what the code is saying, and then it displays for you. The thing is, a lot of the thing that's going to bring us, if we want to be our next level self, we're going to have to take next level action, right? But the thing is, the next level action isn't going to make rational sense to our brain. The very famous example of when Steve Jobs did his commencement speech, and he talked about how in college he just got excited to take this calligraphy class. So he just took it for funsies. It was just like, that sounds cool. Like, I feel inspired to take calligraphy, so I'll do it. And then later, when he was like working on the MacBook and he's like coming up with like the default font, he remembered certain principles from the calligraphy class. And then he was able to make Calibri or whatever, like he was able to make the default user-friendly MacBook font. And that calligraphy class, he listened to his intuition. He made a decision from his heart and his emotions rather than his rational brain, but it ended up serving him much more than his brain ever could have possibly predicted or known. My Mondays look like how they are because I spent years practicing stop planning, start feeling. Feel a desire and take action on that desire and run that experiment over and over and over and over and over. Take leaps of faith. Oh, and my biggest thing was trust. I just could not trust anyone or anything forever for my whole life. Mistrust has always been a part of my story. But instead of living in that fear, I broke past it and started taking leaps of faith. And now my universe is unlocked. Now my Mondays are just chill, do whatever I want days. And pretty much every single day looks like that. I run my own business. I make money from my business. I make money from investments in all kinds of ways, really. And if everything crashed and burned and I went bankrupt tomorrow, I don't even care. I mean, I'd be sad, obviously, but like, I know I have the skill to make money. Like, I have my universe is unlocked. So if for some reason I lost all my money, I would just get more money, or the universe would just provide for me because the universe provides everything for me. The universe gives me everything I want all of the time. It's so easy and it's so fun, and it required stop using my brain and start using my body. And truly, the best way, there's not more to it than that. There's not a 5-step formula. There's not a whole thing you have to do. In fact, if you're looking for a formula or more direction than that, then you are an intellectualizer trying to use your brain still. Just all you have to do is feel a desire and take action. And your brain will try to tell you that desire is scary. Your brain is going to tell you it's scary to trust your heart. Don't do it. But I'm telling you to override your brain's programming, live in your heart, and take action anyway. This is the whole premise of my group, The Experiment, and then on an even deeper level, Unlock the Universe. Because when you go in the experiment, it's all about experimenting with like, how good can life get? Like, instead of this need, this is what intellectualizers do, by the way. You're looking for like this yellow brick road. Like, you're looking for like, what's the one perfect outcome? But you're not going to know. So the best thing to do is actually experiment. Just feel a desire and run with it. Feel a desire and run with it. You're gonna feel a lot happier because you're actually following your desires instead of overthinking, causing stress, survival mode, and dis-ease. But then it all will work out. Like, it has to work out because that's the laws of the universe. When you follow desire, you get back desire. And this is the premise of the experiment, the massive grand experiment of life. Take the pressure off. Take the perfectionism off and the rational reasoning off, and stop justifying and stop over explaining, stop overthinking. Enough with the analysis paralysis, and just start experimenting. It will free you from so many chains you didn't even know you had. Desire, action, desire, action. Okay, so if you're an intellectualizer Drop any comments below. Let me know what resonated with you, if any of this. Join my membership, The Experiment. It's only $11 a month. You get daily trainings almost every single day. The group discussions are popping off. Right now we got a book club going on. Depending on when you watch this video, I have no idea what the membership's going to look like because it's an evolving experiment where I take your ideas. Like, you are a powerful contributor in that group. It's literally a giant experiment for people who think like us, and it's so powerful. So if this really resonates with you, like, you will fit right in. We get to use our minds like for fun, like to contemplate ideas and to learn new things, but they're never the decision maker. The heart is. Okay, make sure to follow at the Manifesting Scientist on socials. Look in the caption to see like all the fun things we have going on, and come back for next week's video.